Hello and welcome to this Photoshop tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be looking at levels and using levels as a way of making some basic image adjustments. The image we have here on the screen is not perfect. It has some areas that we can improve. You'll see most notably the top is very dark, the bottom here is looking quite grey, and some of the trees are lacking a little bit of detail. So we can use levels as a method of improving this image. If we click on Image, Adjustments and Levels, it will bring up a window box here. Now we can make our changes through this box, but whatever changes we make here, you'll see if we take a close look at this thumbnail that it does it directly to our image layer. Now we don't want to do that. We don't want to damage our image in any way. So the best method is to use non-destructive editing. So looking over here on the right hand side, we have Levels. If we click on that one, you'll see that adds a layer. Now we can apply the same effects, but it will be separated on a different layer. A layer which we can turn on and off and choose to have on and not actually affect the background or damage the pixels in any way. So it's brought up a very similar dialog box. You'll see here that we have a histogram. So that's the most obvious thing I see first, is that you have a kind of a big peak on the left hand side here and it fades out to the right hand side. This shows you the amount of pixel data. On the left hand side here we have the shadows, in the middle we have the midtones, and the right hand side here we have the highlights. You'll see that there's a lot of shadows in this picture, so you can see it really peaks in the shadow end. So taking a look at the actual picture itself, you'll see there are a lot of shadows in this picture. Likewise, there's the highlights, and we can see from the picture that there are as many highlights, so it obviously fades out here. If we look at this little drop down box here, we have the red, green and blue, which is basically contains all of your information. So the image is made from reds, greens and blues. You can edit them separately, but we're going to concentrate on actually editing the whole picture together. Now let's play around with this. If we grab the black slider, you'll see that increases the amount of black in the picture. If we grab the white slider, it will increase the amount of white, and that does really help. So moving the white does actually help. What you need to look out for is you don't want to lose any detail. Okay, so you don't want to go out of gamut. So we don't want to go out of the file's range. You don't want to lose any information. So as most things in Photoshop, you don't want to go too far. So just a little bit of editing there. You can play around with the midtones as well, see if that helps. Okay, so just tweak it around. There is an auto button, so you can hit auto and it will do it for you. It doesn't always work, but it's quite a good method. One last thing is that there are some droppers here. Now clicking on the top dropper allows you to tell it where the blackest point is within the picture. Using the midtones, it will tell it where the midtone is, and the white where the white is. Now I'd like to show you this in a different picture. So if I click on another image here, we're going to add a adjustment levels layer. You see it's very different histogram here. Okay, so it's different level of shadows, not quite as many, more midtones, and actually even more highlights. The highlights peak here, which is probably this area here. It's very bright. But we can use the white dropper to tell it where the whitest part is. It didn't have a huge effect, but let's try the black dropper, or the shadow dropper, and let's look for a very dark area. There we go, so that actually helps quite nicely. If you've taken a picture in the studio and the background should be white, but it is off-white on the screen, you can use the white dropper here, or the highlight dropper, to actually set that background to white. So very useful. So on both of these pictures you'll see that it's added a levels layer here. You turn it on and off. So same with our other picture, it's added a layer on top, so you can choose to have that on or not. Very useful as well is you have an undo button, so if you want to undo what you've done, just click on that one. Okay, nice and simple. I hope that was useful to you. Thank you very much.